Hello friends. Now let us take up OFG-7. This is the seventh program in our OCJP Feel Good Web series. This is all about system defined default constructor. In the previous programs, we used constructor. The constructor with the prefix user defined constructor. Why we call it user defined constructor? We define. Who we are? We are users. So user defined constructor. Actually here one issue is there. There are many variants in constructors. Actually every author give their own name, whatever name they like. Because of that reason, many students are confused. So I found out whenever I studied constructor, I confused in that manner only. That's why I wanted to find out a universal solution. What is a universal solution means? Complete descriptive names you give for everything, self-explanatory name. Then there, if you want to fill it out also, there is no question of doubt. In such a way I explain, just try to understand. And one more thing, I don't want to explain these concepts conceptually, theoretically. For every type of constructor, every variant, I want to demonstrate through a program. By that, if you work out that program, then you never get a doubt. Even 10 types of constructors are there also, you never have any doubt. However, I just give complete details about whatever I am explaining, and remaining I just give you a precise explanation. Okay. Whatever we used in the previous program is called user defined constructor. You call it like that only. Okay. Now I am going to explain system defined default constructor. Actually, what is system defined default constructor means? You have a choice not to define a constructor. It is not mandatory. But if you don't define a constructor explicitly for your class, no error will come. And Java invisibly provides a compiler to you, a compiler for that. That is invisible, you cannot see, but it is having a functionality. Now, if you take this, actually book class. Now, how it would be means, it is like this. Okay, you write like that. Everything empty. Book name is there, and empty parents are, no arguments are there, and body is there. This is the constructor, but it provides, Java automatically provides, if you don't define any user defined constructor, Java provides a system defined default constructor. You just don't village it, system defined default constructor. Now let us see what is the functionality. Actually what I told you, without initializing instance variables we cannot get any result. Suppose those are like containers. Simply having empty containers, what you get? You don't get any result. But don't feel it is empty or filled with garbage value. Java purposefully filled with a value. What is that value? You have to understand. Suppose if it is a string or any type of any object reference, string, first remember string. If it is a string and all that, then it initializes with null literal. Null literally different, null character different. So now string, suppose string the name is defined, but it didn't initialize because it didn't define the constructor. That's why it is not initialized. Then what system defined default constructor does? The string object is filled with a null literal. Suppose if it is a char type, if it is a char type means single character, then it fills it with a null character. Null character means it is a character, but you cannot see anything. It is invisible. Nothing is there. It is, you can, this is null literal, this is null character. So char variable is initialized with a null character, means nothing. Thereafter, as far as integer is concerned, 4 types are there. What are the 4 types? Byte, short, int, long. 4 types of 4 variants are there depending on the size. For them, the default initialization value is 0. And 2 more are there. What are that? Float and double. As far as float and double are concerned, that is also 0, but its format is different, 0.0. These are the default values. So if you don't define explicit user defined constructor, Java provides a system defined default constructor that you cannot see. You can imagine that, and even though it is having its functionality, whatever variables, instance variables you define in the class are filled with the corresponding default values. Once again, corresponding default values: string, null, char, null literal, null character. Null character means empty, nothing is printed. Byte, short, int, long, integer types are initialized by 0. Float and double are initialized by 0.0. First, you must have this information. After that, see, now simply theoretically, if you learn and I cannot remember anything, certain doubts are there in your brain. That's why work out a small program. This is a book class. In the book class, we are defining 3 instance variables. What are they? One is string, second one is int, third one is float. Obviously, which values are initialized? That is string title with null character, null literal. Second one int num pages, that is with 0, and float price 0.0. That you know. Now you see there is no constructor. That means voluntarily we didn't define any constructor. Thereafter demo book method we define. Okay, now let us come to the main. Then you can understand that here no constructor is called, just book T1 new book we defined. Thereafter T1 demo book. Actually, if you do not know this fact, what you think of? It leads to error. It reports error, but no error. See that. Book details, title, null, number of pages, 0, int, and price. This is it. If you want, you can try other types also. One thing, again and again, it may be boring to you, but it is my responsibility. Now, I have given only three types of variables. You try other one also. One after completion of this program, what you do? One test program you write, all the types you write, and you see. Don't define constructor. What will happen? You see, in the result you can find whatever explanation I have given. One thing I am telling you, my experience is mine, your experience is yours. My experience may guide you, but you cannot own my experience. Only by hands-on approach, you can own these things. Unforgettable. You never forget. Just a matter of 10-15 minutes, one program, test program you have to write. First, whatever program I have given you write that and test. Thereafter, one test program you write and see all the types you apply and which values are being initialized. Just to see.